stand tall. Words are blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited minds sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena there's no chance to escape the vibrant lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Will be heard. Will be heard. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. In the ring we stand tall. Words of blades that never fall. Debate like warriors brave. Every thought we give and save. Through the noise we cut clean. Spirited mind sharp and keen. With a spark that lights the night. Join us in this epic fight. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by lore. Dive in deep and search for more. From heartfelt talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome talks to fierce debates, we explore what fate creates. Side by side we seek the light. In the dark our minds ignite. Welcome to the Spartan arena, where minds clash and thoughts gleam. In the heat of every word, truth and insight will be heard. Buckle up and take your stance. In this arena, there's no chance to escape the fight by lore. Dive in deep and search for more.
What is going on, everybody? We're back at it, streaming another show. Wow. I hate when I start a show like that. My coughing fans. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna kill you in the background, Greg. I will kill you right now. Not literally. All right, let's try this one more time. Guys, welcome back to another stream, another live. You know where you're at. You're at Spartan Executive Network. I'm your host, Spartan, aka Peter. How is everybody doing tonight? We're talking about a subject that I think we need to talk about because we use social media way too common, too easy. But do we think of the after fact that's to our brain? Most of us probably gonna say yes, but they don't know the real reason, the side effects, how bad it hurts our brain. But before we move on, let's get this knucklehead before I slap him so hard. He's gonna be in a different continent, literally, or a different planet. So you like you talking shit, huh? You want to make fun of me in the background, huh? I'm listening. I'm listening. Come on, go ahead. We guys, face me now, motherfucker. So you guys gonna say?
No, I ain't got nothing to say. I wasn't taking the piss.
Oh, now you're scared. Now you know.
No, I ain't scared. I'm just not taking the piss.
Yeah, because you know I will slap you so hard. I actually make your wife slap you for me.
Dude, if she's bloody here, yeah. She's in the
Oh.
other room.
Eventually, she's gonna be around.
She is
No,
scary
right?
when she's mad. I'll tell you that now. She's scary when she's mad.
That's a you problem, not a me problem, my man.
Screw you.
Hey, you married her, not me. So anyway, Greg. So what's your opinion about social media? Is it poison? Is it good? What is it?
It's a bit of both. It literally is a bit of both.
Okay.
Look at what's going on in the UK. You say something on that, and the repercussions is you go to prison.
They take it that serious down there?
Yeah.
Like what would you say that might put you in prison? Like, for example.
Something against Islam. Something against the government. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Or you guys don't also have the freedom of speech. That's the other problem too.
we don't have the freedom of speech. They're trying to do away with freedom of expression over here right now. They're also trying to ban X over here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are they trying to ban all that stuff? Make me understand better.
Um, they don't like freedom of speech. They literally don't like it. They don't like the freedom of space expression. Anyone say something like, oh, there was a lady who went to prison for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
For do you know anything about the Southport murders over a year ago?
No. Educate me.
Axel Rudiger Banana, whatever you want to call him, um, can't pronounce his surname properly.
Mm-hmm.
Muslim lad. He stabbed 3 young girls, and after that happened, the lady, she's actually an MP's wife, right?
Okay.
She went to prison for putting expression out on X, and because something similar happened to her or her friend, which really upset her. So she put in her expressions how she feels what should happen to the migrants, and what happened to him, what should happen to him, and that. So they arrested her for it. But she said all that out of anger, and then 4 hours later she actually deleted it, and then obviously by then the damage was already done. Quite recently, another woman who got let off without charge. They dropped the charges on her for apparently of misinformation, which was the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So
So pretty much, you cannot say anything on social media, or you're gonna be executed. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
That's kind of fucked up, actually. When you think about it.
The UK screwed. Ofcom, I think I already explained what Ofcom is to you. Um, they're trying to ban, well, they're looking in investigating. They want, the Prime Minister's trying to arrest uh, Elon Musk for freedom of speech and backing Tommy Robinson.
But Elon Musk is not a citizen over there, is he?
No, he's not, but he's trying to arrest him.
That's kind of fucked up, actually. If you really think about it.
Yeah. So it's absolutely screwed. This country's screwed. It really is just absolutely screwed. With the government we got, you say anything about Islam, you say anything about the government, you go to prison.
But you have the freedom. You should have the freedom to say what you want over there.
We should, but we don't. If you ever saw the meeting between Keir Starmer and when Donald Trump actually came to the UK, and they had a meeting together, and they were sitting in a room together, and they were both having about Donald Trump was saying about freedom of speech, and Keir Starmer turned around and slightly laughed. We had the freedom of speech for a very, very long time. Word, Keir Starmer's word, we had.
So what
Yeah.
happened?
Keir Starmer, Labour happened. Everything, ever since they went into power, everything just gone straight downhill. The whole country.
Yeah.
It used to be Great Britain. Now it's an absolute laughing stock. The whole country.
That bad, huh?
Yeah,
So you
Um,
can't even walk around your own country. You're saying?
dude. A few months ago, there was a protest plus counter protest. You got
Okay.
the right wing and left wing, right, protesting about the migrant hotel. Yeah, and a woman innocently just walking a dog down the road, right, gets arrested. She was just walking home from taking a dog for a walk, and she gets nicked for it. No joke. Yeah,
Just
the
get
police
what kind
tried
of
to.
dog you got arrested for?
Yeah. She turned around and said, I just live around the corner. Why can't I just go straight down and left? I live literally just around the corner there. Yeah? Like, no, you can't. It's like, well, it's freedom. It's a free country. I can walk wherever I want. I'm going to walk straight down that road in between the two protests, if you like it or not. So she didn't. They nicked her for it. So,
Wow. When you said to me in the past, it's pretty bad over there. I didn't expect that. All this.
dude, it's worse than what you think.
See that?
If you ever look up if you look up what's going on in the UK right now, it's absolutely screwed. Ireland, Dublin, there instead of you got the grooming gangs that are over here, right? You got the grooming gangs over in Ireland as well, Dublin, right? They're now picking off little 12-year-olds off the streets in broad daylight. If you get what I'm saying. Over
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're literally picking them off in daylight. They don't care anymore.
I bet not, because from what you're saying, this is a very toxic situation you guys are in right now.
Dude, if the Muslims come over to this country and integrated with our country, great. But they didn't want to integrate. They want to take over. That's their way of wanting to do. They want to take over and wipe out anyone who's not Muslim.
And you're talking about the extremists now, right?
All of them.
Not all of them.
Not
Like
all of them, because I've got friends who are Muslim. But the main majority of them do. Yeah. It's the same with the Facebook and that. You could go to prison for stuff on there. They want to try and ban Facebook. They want to try and ban basically any social type of thing. literally over it. I want to get out of it. You know that already.
Yeah. All right, let's get a little bit get on topic now a little bit.
Yes, go for
So,
it.
when did you realize social media is actually affecting your everyday life, your mental health, and all that stuff?
That's a tough question. Probably years ago. Depression. I put a comment on there, and everyone kept on putting negative comments on it. Many, many years ago.
Hmm.
Um, it can be toxic. You've got trolls. You've got people who literally are saying, "I'm having a nice day," and they'll turn around and phone and say, "You're a piece of shit. You go and kill yourself." That sort of thing. That side of things. You got trolls, all types of people, and they're being absolute assholes.
So I realized it when years ago, actually, when I saw all these, remember for a while all these couples were coming on and showing their lives, how their lives are behind scenes, right?
Yeah.
And I realized this is some bullshit on 101. Sorry. So that's when I realized, oh, this is not a place we want to be in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And there are people that take break from social media. I've never personally had to take a break, but I've been never addicted to it, social media either. Like, I can go days without using it, to be honest with you.
Well,
But
I
being a
said to you,
YouTuber, you kind of have to be on a little more than you think. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know. When you said to me about it the other day, when your puppy passed away, yeah, um, I didn't follow it. I didn't know that happened because
Mm.
I did mention that to you when I spoke to you about it. I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about it because at the time I didn't, because of all the drama that's on Facebook and that I don't follow going on Facebook. I used to have just the messenger on it, so until they decided to combine it back into one app. I just literally had the messenger, and I only used the messenger. I didn't use Facebook app or anything like that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I just didn't like the flaming drama, and I got sick and tired of looking at the drama, so I just didn't go on it. If you know what I mean?
No, I agree with you.
And then when you mentioned it, I looked. I was like, "Oh crap!" Yeah. So
Well, one thing about social media I do enjoy is when you're living far away from people, it's one way to keep in contact. Like me and you, for example. We
yeah,
don't live around the corner from each other.
uh,
You know what I'm saying?
thousands of miles. I think it's thousands of miles away from us. From me, you are 1,000 miles away. I
Oh,
don't know.
something like that, I want to say.
Hold on.
But it's a pretty a long hike. Let's be honest. It's not like a hour drive. It's a couple hour flight. You know what I'm saying? So that's one way for us to keep in contact with each other. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, yeah, I do understand how it
Oh shit,
works.
that's far. For over 4,000 miles from me, you are.
Hey, what?
You're over 4,000 miles away from me.
Oh, that's not far.
Bub,
You can do that in you can drive that in an hour.
piss off.
I'm just saying.
Any underground tunnels?
Really?
What?
You're gonna be a cartel now, doing undercover things. But my point is trying to get to you, Greg. It's so social media can be a good tool at the same time when it's a bad one. Does that make
Oh, it's
sense?
definitely a good tool. You can buy stuff off of Facebook. You can wish people happy birthday because Facebook automatically um, puts it up and saying that this person's birthday is today
I think
or
that
whatever.
that's a cheat code right there for that.
Is there?
I think it's a cheat code. You know why?
Why?
You should remember your friend's birthday if that mean that much to you.
Well, I actually forgot yours until Facebook reminded me.
When you don't go on Facebook.
I know I don't. I remember my mum's and I remember my dad's because they're very easy to remember. My dad's birthday is on Valentine's Day, and my dragon mother, hers is on the 23rd of December.
That's my point. Like, if you really care, you will remember. I'm not saying you should remember me, but whatever. But your mom, you remember. Your dad, you remember. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't even remember my own brother's birthday. I really don't.
That's kind of fucked up, dude.
I can't even be bothered with my brothers, to be honest with you.
That's kind of fucked up.
How's that fucked up? When I don't speak to my own brothers, they're just worthless. I haven't seen them or spoke to them in years.
But why haven't you guys talked in years? Let's hear that first.
Because my brother Gavin tried to put me through a window, and he's a worthless, alcoholic, gambling son of a bitch. There's 3 reasons for you. My younger brother, he looks down at his nose at everybody, even me. And he said some things that I didn't like about her, and I haven't spoken to him. And my stepbrother, he's just a piece of crap. And my sister, she just doesn't want to know me, so I gave up on him.
Well, I'll give you credit. You guys have a very toxic relationships.
Well, my
Is
family.
that most UK families or yours mostly?
A lot of families in the UK are like that. Not all of them, admittedly, but some of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, as I said, I would rather move the hell out of this country, move to the US. But that's the hard thing. Yeah. Because of Keir Starmer and that stupid bloody scarecrow nose bloody witch Rachel Reeves raising the flaming taxes 7 to 8 times last year. No one can afford to eat, mate. Yeah. There's more people going on benefits than there is people working right now.
I didn't know it was that bad, dude. To be honest with you.
They're sending our money instead of trying to fix the public services, fixing the streets, fixing the NHS. Right, I can't say it properly. NHS, right, which is the health service, right. They're giving the money to the migrants in the hotels. They're sending £50 billion abroad to build a road in some foreign country.
All right, let's keep on track for a second. Let me play the first video because you keep going back to UK stuff. Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Let me get it set up really fast. All right.
I decided to delete my Instagram. I would be on set working. I'd come and sit in my chair and just scroll. It was becoming a problem. I was just obsessed with it, and I was obsessed to find out what they thought about me. So I decided to make an announcement and say that I'm taking a break from social media. And the thing that really upset me is the press ran with that, and they tried to make out I was having this mental breakdown. They took the story in the wrong direction. Oh, look, he's not the perfect happy-go-lucky kid you think he is. He's having a nervous breakdown in New York. Kind of painted people looking for help in the wrong light. I decided to delete my Instagram.
All right, what do you think about that, Greg, for a second? Because he's one of your buddies
Well,
from the UK, I mean.
he deleted his Instagram because of stress, probably, and depression, and all the negativity that come along.
He said he's no. Hang on. Listen to the video. Hang on. Let's get this guy in here first. Greg, turn your camera back on, please.
Really?
Yep, you have to on this guy.
Oh God.
All right, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our president.
Oh shit.
Oh, wrong button.
Go again.
Oh, fuck. I bet you heard that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We need a smile, Mr. President. I always end up with a headache after these shows.
All right, Mr. President, how are you doing tonight?
A little tired, but I'm okay. I'm good.
Every time I see you on camera, I see you in new glasses every time.
I only got 3 pairs. So.
He's got
Or you
rainbow
rotate
glasses.
them?
Yeah. Depends on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing like today, I wore mostly like a black, grays, and whatnot. I wear the bolder. If I'm wearing earth tone, I wear the brown. And then if I'm wearing like blues and whatnot, there's another pair I wear. So
I only have
try
like
to
2
use
pairs,
something.
like, and both are the same ones. A rimless, one in my office, one in my car.
I don't think I've ever seen you in glasses.
I wear them once and twice on camera.
I don't recall. Craig, you recall her seeing Pete in glasses? I don't recall.
I meant to be, but I can't afford to pay for them.
No, I'm saying, have you ever seen Pete in glasses? I
I
don't
wear
think I've ever
them
seen.
more.
So
I
I
don't think
didn't
I've ever
hear
seen
you
him in
properly.
glasses.
Sorry, that's my mistake. But no, I haven't.
All right. So Greg's having a hard time focusing, so I'm glad you jumped in here. So, social media, do you think it's poison, good, bad? What's your opinion?
Yeah,
Yeah, to what?
it's all of the above. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not one who I'm not going to take an object and make it an idol. I know in the scriptures it talks about there's really no such thing as an idol. All idols are man-made creations. An idol is what you put into it. So just like social media, just like places, things, you can make an idol out of anything. It doesn't mean that that thing in and of itself is good or bad. Money, you could have swapped this show out with money, put dollar signs up there, and ask the same question. You could take Las Vegas and ask the same question. I know people now who refuse to go to Vegas because it's called Sin City. But I've gone there, multiple times and had a great time and not doing any sinful activity. So it's about what are you going to use it for? You can use it for good. You can use it for bad. Anything that you take in excess, even health or healthy things, working out too much, can be a bad thing for you long term. People with these uber strict diets or vegetarian diets thinking that they're healthier, that can be taken to extreme. Just like you eat too many sweets, that can be a bad thing. Anything taken to excess, or anything you make an idol of or you indulge too much in, can become destructive to your life. And so
I agree.
So internet, I put in the same category. I've certainly was there when it first came out. At least started before internet. You had bulletin boards. In the late 80s, early 90s, and then we got internet after that, and then after internet we got social media. So I've seen it all, and you can I think a lot of it depends on the person. So I'm not going to demonize the social media in and of itself. Can it be dangerous? Yeah. Just like, like I said, I can pick a subject. I don't want to, harp on anything specific, but I think it's the person's involved. I think how much time are you devoting to it? I think one thing I appreciate about Gen X is, again, because we saw all these changes growing up, it was like a compartment of our lives, but it wasn't all of it. Like I did so many things before social media was a thing. So I use it. I appreciate it for what it can do. But I have a hard time relating to those who get so caught up in social media that becomes like their life and everything like that. Well, what life were you living before social media?
Good point.
And so if that's, in a bad way, If you're antisocial and social media kind of gave you a way to kind of come out, and that's really your only interaction with the world is through social media, yeah, that's a problem.
Hmm.
So again, I think with us, I mean, there was plenty growing up as a Gen Xer. There was still plenty of playing outside time, being outside your house, you know, be home by dark kind of time. And then there was video game time because again, we were at the birth of that. So there was play, but again, we're not playing 20 hours a day. So there was plenty of that. There was interactions. There was, you know, and you know, like I said, when the internet became a thing, you know, we participated in that. So I think, you know, I think older generations, I think we're more likely not to have social media or any vice, quite frankly, just take all of us, unless you're just predisposed to that. Like I know guys who are into gaming, or like not even gaming, like role play. I remember Eric and I, we,
Like
you know,
Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah, or just role play. We didn't do D&D, but specifically we did Champions. I think was the main. That was more like a superhero based type of you know, gaming experience. But yeah, guys, they did that all day, like their whole Saturday from noon till midnight, and then they go out for like, you know, to a diner afterwards or whatever. I mean, you gaming for like 12 hours. And a lot of times with me, I'm like, nah, I want to do something else. Like, you know, there's certain, I've seen enough, like you can be a fan or into fandom to such a degree where it's like it just consumes your existence. And I guess I've been a fan, but I guess I've never been a fanatic. Like I said, I can hold my own in a few conversations for about an hour. I'm good with on almost any topic with anybody for about an hour.
I can see talking about at least up to 2 hours on gaming.
And unless, but again, it's the time period, because like we had a couple weeks ago when you guys were talking about Xbox, PlayStation versus Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I could only speak so much because, like I said, I jumped off of the gaming by Sega Genesis. I was out, and if I did anything, I did computer games, and then when smartphones came out, I would do, you know, some smartphone games, but I wasn't buying a new system every couple years. I wasn't spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into video games.
You grew out of it.
I wouldn't say there was just other things. You know what I mean? I was never, like I said, I was never a fanatic. I mean, yeah, on certain nights when nothing was going on, yeah, I could probably game for like 3 or 4 hours. And like computer games. This is before the internet. This was just trying to get through levels to get to like the end of the game. Like Wolfenstein 3D, if you play it from start to finish, it'll probably take you 2-3 hours to finish it. Or if you play Doom until you get to like the last level back then, it would take you at least that kind of time. So I would put in enough time so I could kind of finish the games and whatnot. But again, this is before networks and you're playing guys like for hours at a time and nothing else that's going on. But I've never been that kind of guy. And it was like, if there was something else to do, like say if nothing was going on, then fine, I don't mind playing. But if I had the opportunity to go on a date, or if I had a girlfriend, then I'm putting the game system down because I would rather spend time with a lady than with on a video game. And so, you know, so again, I think I've never been captive, if you will, to any particular thing that, you know, just dominated so much of my time, or at least I would say my productive hours time. I would say that, meaning prime time, or, you know, or something, you know, that I could be doing something like late night. I'm a night owl anyway. So late night, especially back in the day in the summers, yeah, I could be up to 2-3 in the morning, you know, so from like 11 to 2 or 3 in the morning, I can be doing something. But outside of that, I'm not going to be, you know, obsessing. But social media, for the most part, for me, has been a value add in my life. It is on so many levels. It's allowed me to stay in contact, especially with family, especially with extended family throughout the country. I have, you know, separate groups for both sides, my mom and dad's sides of the family. So for guys, either I don't get a chance to go to family reunion every year, but the fact that, you know, relatives are out there, I can still kind of stay connected and see what's going on. Co-workers and friends that I've had over the years that, and you know, for whatever reason, I haven't been able to hook up person to person. It's been great for that. Old college fraternal organizations and groups, members that we had, we were with back in the day. It allows me to do that. And look, I wouldn't have met you guys if
Oh, I
it
agree.
weren't for the social media space or environment. So, like I said, it's been for the most part a value add. But I'm not
In our
obsessing. I'm
case,
not.
me and you, Paul, we would never met if we didn't have social media and we broke bread and all that stuff and hanged out multiple times at this point.
And I think that's the best use of the platform. I mean, for connection. But and if you can take it now, there's certain guys that who, like I said, I've never met.
Mhm.
That like I've never met Coach, but we have a good rapport. Certainly through the shows that we do and the talks that we've had outside of that. I mean, if you can take it the social to the physical, then I think that is a well balanced way of using the platform. That, like I said, it just allows you to connect in ways to share information that you couldn't ordinarily do. Now I got groups. I still got cell phone groups, group chats. I still, some guys aren't on social media at all, but they don't mind being part of group chats, and we send articles and pictures and memories and things like that. We use that in a way like social media because some guys, they just don't want to be on social media. So I maintain those as well. And so yeah, I think that's really where the best use of the apparatus is for sometimes starting a relationship, sometimes maintaining relationships. But I was never under any illusion that I don't care how many followers. I've never cared about how many followers I don't have. I couldn't quote you a number of followers I have now. I might be still probably under 1,000, but I don't keep tab. In fact, I turn down more requests for followers than not, because a lot of follower requests I get are from women, and unless you're a relative or unless I know you very well or through these spaces or whatnot, I'm more than likely I'm not going to be following you because I don't necessarily need to be seeing what you be seeing. But even some guys that I know, even relatives of mine, what they post, because post a lot of stuff shows up in your feed. I don't on my feed all the time, so a lot of guys I just won't follow because there's just certain content that I know that they'll post with that, so I just avoid a lot of that.
So with my personal Facebook, not the network Facebook, my personal.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some of you guys. If one of the guys asks me, yes, if I know you, I will accept their requests. And I'm like you, Paul. I'm under 1,000 because I don't need all that fucking drama in my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have it
I
a certain
spend
way.
almost every day, and it's not just the.
Oh, he froze. Just give him a second because he's completely froze. Like, great way to freeze, right? But,
I wish I had my phone in there.
he got kicked off. He's back on. All right, you were saying?
Now, I was just saying, in addition, not just the friend request, but also the ads. Like, I spend half my time in Facebook blocking ads, as well as people who, like I said, if I just know certain guys that, a lot of their content, it's just, I just don't need that in my feed. A lot of political stuff. I tend to, it's not to say I don't get some, but some guys just take it way too far.
Oh yeah, I know people that that's all. When I mean that's all they keep their free times with. I'm trying to learn about politics. I'm like, I'm good, but no thanks.
Or if you have it, like like I said, I may have one or two, but like not too many people of the same persuasion, because again, you get more of it. Like I know a couple guys there, they work in politics, like they're they're party officials or what. So yeah, so they're gonna put stuff up there. I don't need 10 of them though. You know what I mean? So I limit a lot of my interactions to what I want to see and how I want to flesh out. But there's some guys I knew, they were like every other day they're putting something which I deal with, certainly not safe for work. on the feeds. And I'm like, a lot of times I'll just say, nah, or I may not unfollow, but I may like don't post their content to my feed because I just don't need that kind of input. It's certainly not at certain times of the day. I don't need it. So yeah, so I think that for a lot of us, again, a well balanced approach is having again, know when to use, when to stop. I don't get notifications on any of my social media. I typically, unless someone sends me something directly, I go on social media when I want to get onto it. I'm not going to be pulled because someone posted something and it came up on my feed and then I have to open it up. I mean, but my family, my girls or my friends, they'll put stuff in chats or whatever and say, hey, check this out or whatever. And I'll be like, look, I'll check it out when I get time. But I'm not just jumping on the first thing that comes through. Ooh, what is this? And I don't want to hear my phone beeping because I'm getting alerts.
Oh yeah, I'll give you an
this.
example. Like the
Yeah.
thing, a video I posted about Apollo last night, where he took you over the next day, more than the next day actually. I think
Mhm.
to comment it,
That's true.
and it was. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like I'm not. A lot of times I'm not on. I got other things. I may allocate some time because I know that it takes metrics. I haven't even looked at metrics as far as like how many hours a day that I might be on like a certain platform or whatever. But it's probably not that much. It's probably maybe 1 to 2 hours, maybe a day. Like, yeah, I'm literally looking now
Mm-hmm.
at my interactions, and yeah, it's probably less than in the last 21 hours. It's like 5 hours and 40 minutes. And again, that's spread out over like the last, time.
I've
Yeah,
messaged
Facebook,
you
2
in
hours and
like the
44
next day.
minutes. What's that?
I've messaged you saying great show, right? And you messaged me like a day or two later.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't get anyone's messages. I mean, Messenger. Sometimes I'll get if I'm paying attention, but a lot of times I'll miss it and I'll see it later, and
Yeah.
I'll be
Well, at
like,
least with me, you always get back to me pretty fast with a
yeah.
messenger.
Well, yeah, especially you, because I know, especially if there's something show related or whatever, I want to stay on it. But again, if you can't reach me to that, then you text me.
Yeah, because we go back and forth from texting to messenger.
Correct.
Depends what's going on, what we're talking about. But he's 100% right. We at least me and Paul are not hooked on it completely. The problem is, like, I'm gonna play this video again. I want you to watch it because Greg watched it, but I know you didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
Okay.
Oh, where is it? Here it is. Let me rewind and let's play.
I decided to delete my Instagram. I would be on set working. I'd come and sit in my chair and just scroll. It was becoming a problem. I was just obsessed with it, and I was obsessed to find out what they thought about me. So I decided to make an announcement and say that I'm taking a break from social media. And the thing that really upset me is the press ran with that, and they tried to make out I was having this mental breakdown. They took the story in the wrong direction. Oh, look, he's not the perfect happy-go-lucky kid you think he is. He's having a nervous breakdown in New York. Kind of painted people looking for help in the wrong light. I decided to delete.
Go ahead, Paul.
I don't know. Entertainers, that's another stratosphere. So again, I can't relate to what he's saying from that perspective. I mean, you're getting millions of dollars to be in films, and you want at certain times you want all these followers following your content because that helps your bottom line, especially when it comes to contract negotiations or whatnot. And but I appreciate the fact if he needs to take a break from it for his mental health, and he said he canceled his social media because he was so concerned about what people thought of him. Again, I would think that's a bit extreme, but again, I'm not getting millions of people writing or pinning. Like I may get maybe two to three tags a week where somebody tag me in a post. I couldn't imagine what that would be like if it was 2,000 or 20,000 or millions of tags coming at me. So I don't know what that world is like.
I know I didn't say this before when me and Greg were talking about this, but my pushback to this, most people in his age, most people who are in his level acting, they don't check their own Facebook. They have the personal Facebook that they'll have their close friends like me, like we do. and like our network has the fan page.
Mhm.
So he's not getting things from like a million people.
Well, he said he said he was going in and
Yeah.
looking at what people were saying about him. But that's a choice, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
you're turning on the notifications, or you're deciding to go in there and look for things that is said about you. So my thing is, that's a personal decision that he made. And then when it became too obsessive, again, when it became an idol, he basically had to destroy the idol in order to help get some of the sanity back. But again, someone with the right balance in looking at it, it may not be as hard for them to do that. Even them, they're not necessarily following it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you want to create content, see, this is the Faustian deal. If you want to create content and you're dedicated to making that on a daily, if not weekly basis, then you got to take what comes with that. So again, for the person who you complain about the Frankenstein monster that you helped to foster and to create. So to me, that's that balance thing. That's the part where I'm saying to myself that, hey, with like Spider, it's interesting since he's Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. With great followers or many followers come many
Trolls.
responsibility or problems, whatever you want. But that goes with it as well. And so it's interesting because those guys, like I said, you'll want those followers at a certain time, but then you want to be like, well, I want to shut it off. And I get that. I mean, that's why these guys, they don't live amongst you'll never get any work done if you're in the public all the time. That's why a lot of these guys live in sort of remote places where it's not easy to get to. You definitely need your downtimes and whatnot. I get all of that. But again, I'm not in that celebrity culture. I'm not thought of. I'll say that. I'm not thought of so much where this gets, oh man, this is just too much and I can't do it. But in part, like I said, if I post, I'll probably post maybe once a week. And even then, it's not like I don't go off of, oh, I got to post something. A lot of it is like, I train twice a week. I had a poster on one of my training sessions from Saturday, but I only did like one. I only posted one video. I may do another one later, but I think for training, I think once a week or once every other week for me. Now, I know guys who put training content up every day. I don't do that because, one, I don't train every day, and I don't believe in overtraining. And so, again, no more than like once or twice a week at best is enough. And I do the same. Generally, I'm doing the same things. Like I'm not one of these fitness influencers that's trying to find the coolest trick to do. And hey, let me show you how to do this thing that's halfway dangerous. And at my age, I can't be playing around with, doing squats on a Swiss ball or something like that. Like I can't take those types of risks. So most of my training is pretty standard. I do 5 to 7 exercises in any given session, and they're the same things for the most part. Every once in a while, I may take something out and put something in, but I don't have a reason to post content like that on a regular basis. Or if I'm inspired, the post that I had about the phone book, that literally came because I was cleaning up. I got all these books. We're getting carpet replaced, and we got a ton of stuff we got to get rid of. And I just looked. Remember when I showed you guys all those floppy disks and then
Yeah. You got rid of them finally?
No, not yet. It's coming. Like we're planning a big spring clean, but I got carpet being replaced at the end of the month. And so my bookshelf, I went to my bookshelf. I still have my college textbooks, my college calculus books, and all. I'm a hoarder. It's like this. I get a little bit sentimental when it comes to things because it reminds me of moments in classes and things that nature. So I tend to hold on to things longer than I probably should, but they're too old to be of use to, like, a lot of times I'll wait for a book drive because I have a lot of like motivational books and a lot of self-help books. Those I'll probably give away. If there's a book drive, I'll just box them up and give them to a book drive because I think those are, timeless, so you can always use those. but my calculus book from 40 years ago is probably not going to help anybody. So so I'll just throw those away. But it just reminds you that you have to. But the reason why I post about the phone book is I didn't know I had one. 'Cause I haven't used the phone in like 20 years. Like as far as going in and looking up something and scrolling or trying to search for an ad, it's probably been 20, 25 years since I've done that.
I know
I'm
you
like,
crossed over your phone number. Was that your current phone number, or was that like an
no,
old
that's
number?
it's one of them. That's why I did it, because I was like, oh snap, I'm literally in the white pages. I'm right there.
We still get them.
Wow. Yeah.
What's
I
the paper?
suppose you could, or now I think they have like you do all that stuff online now, because I think
It's
it's like
like
the yellow.
this. It's like 4 inches thick.
Yeah.
4 inches. They were like fucking 12 inches. It was this
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's because people not using
People
home
comment they
phones
were using
anymore.
this like child booster seats and and all that kind of stuff. So but it literally it was just in the moment that I thought it's
we
like,
called
this
it-
would be cool. And I was thinking, and I just started asking myself, I wonder if my kids have my
I think
kids ever
it's
used
called
the
the
phone?
yellow pages. I think
Yeah.
that's what they call it.
Right. Well, you got the two sides. The yellow pages is mostly like ads from companies, and then white pages.
No, yellow
are like
pages is
people.
what we got over here for
Yeah.
telephone numbers.
Oh, really? They switch it. Okay, got it. But again, I would literally think, I was like, hey, have my kids seen this? And then that's what inspired the post. And I just was in the moment. Like, I don't think about what I'm gonna write. It's just literally these are my thoughts at this time. But I would be a terrible blogger, because again, I blog or I'll post something when I feel like doing it. But again, if you want traction in that, there's like this pressure. You got to constantly have stuff, if not monthly, weekly, daily. And I'm like, I don't want to talk all that much. Like what I'm sharing now in these spaces, I'm on 5 YouTube shows. If you don't pick up what I'm saying in these shows, then you're probably not going to hear from me. Yeah, correct. 5 shows. I got the Gray Area on Sunday. I got this show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I got Wednesday sports. I got Thursday with Coach, and I got Saturday with the Hangout. So I'm like, I'm talking
Yeah,
enough. Like,
gray area too. Don't forget that.
I started with Gray Area.
Oh, okay, my bad.
We did.
So I'm just saying.
I was like 5 YouTube. Sorry, it was what? 5 different channels. Or is
No,
it
it's on
just
2
this
different channels. It's different shows. Most of the shows he does on here, right, Paul?
Yeah, no. I got my.
The only show
my
I don't
phone
do on
brought
here
5
is
different channels. Sorry,
the
my
sports show.
mistake.
The sports show I still do on BMU. Everything else is here, or co-production like with BMU channel or something. But no, I'm not looking to pick up another show. I may be a guest if there's a specific topic or a need that they want. Like I know on BMU show there was one of the his hosts that did a show on parental care, and they wanted my perspective and whatnot. So I went on. I was a guest on her show. So I'll make an appearance here and there. But like I said, I think I'm almost like this is like the right amount for me to be sharing, in these spaces. If you want to know about me and how I think and how I roll about things. But if I'm not on these, then again, I might be listening to someone's like King show. Like I'm pretty religious about that. I listen to King. Say I'm walking Doc while King is on pretty much every week. And it's weird because I'm like, it's cold. It was like sub 30 degrees. So Michelle will say something or King will say something, and I'm literally taking my glove off to text as I'm walking the dog, keeping him out of trouble. My fingers are freezing. I'm trying to send this text into the show before before they move on to another point or whatever, because they kind of keep the show moving.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I mean, that's enough for me. So I think I'm pretty balanced when it comes to the amount of social media that I consume. But quite frankly, anything. I don't watch every sports. Like I haven't watched an NBA game yet this year. I seldom watch baseball games because it's too many. It's 162 games. It doesn't get interesting until August, September anyway. So I don't watch a lot of those. The NFL is probably the only thing that I may commit to on a weekly basis. Or boxing, or if there's but that's like an event. Like if there's a big fight card, either in the US or UK or something, Eddie Hearn or something, and there's a big fight in the UK that's going on. Yeah, I may tune in and watch that. But I think that there's a lot of other things I want to do, and I want to hang out with my wife. Like back in the day, like been doing the pandemic days, guys would be on BMU for like 5 to 6 hours. I'm like,
Oh
dude.
God, I called you guys after the pandemic was over,
Mm.
and they were still doing 4 or 5 hours shows.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, first of all, I got a wife, okay, and I could think of at 1 a.m, I could be thinking about a lot more interesting and fun things to be doing than being on with you guys talking about how bad women are. I got a good one. So you guys keep the conversation talking about women aren't, women are trash. I'm gonna go over here and play with my wife for a while. So good night. And that's how it was. Like I'd be one of the first guys to bounce 11:30
Oh, I
or
remember that.
whatever. And I'd be like, look,
It was
I'm out,
between me
guys.
and you, actually. If I remember, when I started joining you guys, it was between me and you. We were always the first ones out.
Yeah, because
I had
I'm
shit to
like,
do.
yeah. It wasn't like that. It's like I didn't want to. That's another thing too. I'm kind of like once I make my point, it's like there's not much more to be said.
Yeah.
So again, I'm like, what do you guys? And I mean, I remember shows like 8 hours, like Lapeef, when he was on. I mean, like 8 hours. I'm waking up early in the morning and whatnot, and they're still on. I mean, it's just, so I'm like, what are you doing with your time? People will talk about back then. It's like, oh well, men and women can't find a good man, can't find a good woman. Well, of course you can't, because you spend all your time on the internet, on social media. Get out of your house and go and find somebody. Get some sleep. Go to the gym in the morning, and maybe you might find someone to do something. So again, like I said, I've never been so into work. Maybe is like the only thing I'll get. Yeah, I mean, especially when we have big production things, or really things where that could be a 16+ hour day in work doing things. But again, I'll take a break to break the monotony. Yeah, I may take 15-20 minutes, scroll social media, or 15-20 minutes play some game or something, just to take my mind off of the constant grind of the work and analysis and things like that, just to keep my mind fresh, to take a break. But outside of that, so again, social media, again, it can be all things. It can be the best thing for people. I know people got married through it, or rediscovered past friends. You haven't seen the guy in 40 years, and you find them on, and you reconnect, and it could be great. But for certain people, I mean, if your image of your self-image has been formed, or you base your self-image based on the number of followers you have, or the comments that people are saying about you, that could be problematic. But again, I still wouldn't say that social media created it. I think that's you and the life you were living before social media became a thing. What validation did you get prior to social media? And you might have got into it, and then people started validating you and saying how great you were, and you thought you were part of this big community. But real friendships, guys who will ride or die with you, guys will call you up, and after a parent or someone, a loved one died, and be like, hey, you're okay? It was never going to be a replacement for that, unless you put the work outside the social media to build it. And it's the one thing I talk about with online dating. And a lot of people are against it, but I still think it's a great thing, because all it does is it just gives you more opportunities. That doesn't mean, though, you don't have to put the work in. You
It's
have
funny,
to
because
put
I
the.
was just actually having this conversation with somebody today. The reason people hate social media so much, Paul, to be honest with you, because not everybody uses it the right way, unfortunately. There are a lot of negative people out there.
Mhm.
A lot of people use it for gold digging, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Some people just want a hit and quit it. Some people just like playing games. Some people like just playing, just fucking people's heads up for no reason, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Basically, troll.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Troll.
Smart marks and just again, just spammers. They just want to. Some people
Pretty
just want to piss in your pond. I mean, we gotta monitor a show like every show now, because I do think. I mean, I don't know, something happened with the algorithm. I think BMU. I think he certainly did something where we're getting a lot more follow, like doing the show, like like last week's show, we had like, one time it spiked to like over 30, 40 followers. I mean,
Between both,
viewers.
I know on both sides.
Yeah. So something's happening, but we're getting more, more spammers and people
If
who
you
just
say it's because I shaved my beard off, I'm gonna choke slam you.
no, I'm just saying, but just with that thing, I remember even on the sports show, we got like over 80 people following us at one point. It's like, and I was like, where all these people come from? We'll get like 5, 10. It was like it was spiking over 80. And some people say, hey, great show. I like how you guys do. Hey, that's great. But then somebody wants to go in there when they want to put D picks up or something, or try to, they just want to mess with your flow. It's like some people just want to piss in your coffee. And that comes with it. So again, when we get to like 10,000 or 20,000, we get in live streams where we've got hundreds of people. I mean, you're gonna need to hire some people, like hey, we need some moderators, because we're trying to do a show. I can't be constantly following. Yeah, I can't be doing that. So again, with that following, if that's what you're after, do understand what's going to come with that, and people, especially the way people think as far as that, that oxytocin, that they want that, it's like anything else, like sugar. It's like feed me.
The dopamine,
like
pretty much.
Yeah, the dopamine. Yeah, but it's like I think when we're talking to Wally and talking about how some people, the reason why you want a separate channel for shorts, because again, people get so used to watching shorts, they don't want to stick around for the main content. So you got to sort of separate the shorts out. So, and that's what we're trying to implement here. So the thing is, people attention span is just like, and then you as the content creator, it's like, I got to feed him. Like me, that times, like if I go silent for like a month and not say anything, I'm good. But when this becomes a job, then that's when it just becomes, challenging. It's like, well, what am I going to talk about today? And I don't think my life is that interesting. Some people just get up every day and just say, hi, good morning. Well, how's your day going? And someone has always an inspirational word for you. I don't. Because it's like what I told you probably 2 weeks ago or a month ago is probably what I'm still working on. So I don't have anything to say. It's like, do, positive things, eat well, spend time in building your relationships, train, exercise, or whatnot. I'm pretty consistent. And if it gets to a point where stuff gets boring, then it's like like I said, it becomes a job and it becomes road, and you can have the subscribers because most people are too lazy to unfollow you. But how many people are really digging, and how many people are really benefiting from the content that you're providing? And so I do keep it. I try to be like, okay, with the training, especially on Saturdays, because I have a lot more time than like tomorrow morning I train, but I'm training before work, so I literally have to, that's not going to afford me a lot of time to record stuff. But on Saturday I have a little more free time and say, okay, this will be interesting. So I may shoot like each exercise that I do, and then I'll be like, okay, well, this might be good to share or whatever, especially if I haven't done it in a while. But
you go to the gym before you go to work?
No, everything's at home. I have my dungeon gym. All those videos that you see me training, that's in my basement. I have a
do you ever use the gym before you go to work?
No, I mean, it's like I said, just the Wednesday training. I train at home.
Okay.
Before I go to work, but all my training is at home.
Do that? Like,
What's that?
Do a load of exercise, then go and do a day at work. How the hell?
No, I actually agree with him. Like, because my job is very physical, and your job is not that physical, right, Paul? You're behind a desk most of the day.
No, it's not. But at the same time, it can be mentally draining.
Oh, I'm not.
What I found was for me, what training in the morning does, it gives me a victory. So that, because I don't know how the day's going to go, and depending on how the day goes, when I get home, like tonight, I was pretty drained. I had to go and ship some packages to my daughter in Grenada, and it was just a long process in the store and everything. And I just came home, I was just kind of wiped. And so a lot of times it's hard to get up for an evening workout. Now, I've done them in the past, but certainly as I've gotten older, I would much rather get up early in the morning and do it and start with a victory. And the rest of the day I kind of own, because at least I took that one time to take care of me first. But trying to train after work or later, and again, especially I'm busy with a lot of these shows at nighttime. So it's like, to do a show and then try to train after that. No. So I would rather, and I'm not a morning person, but again, I would rather do that than train it at nighttime. So it's just a discipline that I have. Even though I'm not a morning person, I'll overcome that in order to get it in. And the thing is, I always feel better about myself. Just not only the dopamine and the oxytocin or whatever, but it's just the sense of accomplishment. That yep, I got this off. And a part of me used to be like, well, most people aren't. There's people who get up very early in the morning and train, but but a lot of people, they'll delay it or they'll come up with a reason why not to do it. And so I just put myself in that mindset to
see. My issue is and I'm going to change that very soon. I'm working on that right now. Actually, is when I go to the gyms in the morning, it works great. When I can go, keyword when, because a lot of times when I plan to go to the gym, my phone goes off. We have a call off. I got to head to work, so that gets fucked up. The other problem I have sometimes is A, I'm too exhausted from work because I'm always running around like a maniac. Or B, something comes up, I have to head home straight away. Yeah. So
and getting home a lot of times it's not predictable because I'm on the Jersey Garden State the Turnpike. So it could take me 45 minutes to get home. It could take me 90 minutes or 2 hours to get home, depending on there was an accident, there was something, you're just sitting there. And again, that gets taxing after a while. And so a lot of times I get home, the only thing, as soon as I get home, I got to get the dog out. So unless I'm really behind or whatever, like tonight, because I was running, trying to get those shipments out, Dottie should walk the dog tonight. But that's typically my deal. As soon as I get in, I take him out. And when I take him out, I don't just take him out to relieve himself. Like we go on walks. There's certain routes that he likes to go on. So you're talking 30 to 45 minutes plus that I'm out with him because we are going places, and along the way he'll typically relieve himself. But it's not just put him out in the backyard, do his thing, and come back. It's we do things. So it's like even after that, you don't feel like
take himself for a walk. Literally, it literally jump over the gate, or literally go through the gate.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that, buddy.
Go down the end of the road, cross the road, go to the park, go around it about 5 or 6 times, do his business, then come home. We didn't even know anything about it until we had the dog warden that came around and complaining about it.
Smart dog. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, but it's just like I said, the business, and you want to have that time to, again, the wife, just having our time, and again, so like I want to go on dates, I want to, we went out to a comedy club last Friday, had a good time. So yeah, it's like I said, it's balanced. Like, what do you have going on? I think for anybody, I think there should be aspects of your life that you're exploring. Yes, there's interests, there's passions that you may have, but nothing should be so dominant that you cut out the relationships in your life. If you have kids, making time for them, making time for your spouse, making time for your organizations, your causes, your church, if you belong to one. Just like I said, I'm so much more than just this thing. And I know what a lot of, and again, we live in this space. We've been to Comic-Con and whatnot. There's so many people who this is such a big part of their lives. And I'm not trying to diss it. I appreciate, a lot of times I give respect to, I appreciate people who put so much passion into, cosplay and just different things that they do. But I'd want to know, is there more to your life than that? I mean, I think it's a great place to meet somebody, especially if you're into that sort of thing. But then the conversations, and what are you talking about? Are you talking about that all the time, or are you talking about deeper things? So, long-term plans, short-term plans, and whatnot. And if you just take that once a year to just kind of release yourself. And then we saw certainly a lot of people in cosplay, a lot of women. They definitely released themselves. They could be probably the most conservative people in the world, but they let their hair down literally at Comic-Con. But then they go back to their normal lives, and they again continue on being. But it's not so obsessive that it consumes them. So that's always been my approach to everything, even spiritually. I don't like being around people who are too churchy. If all you want to talk about is the Bible, I'm like, okay, but that's not, I mean, and again, that Bible's important to me. I study it, I teach it every week, but I'm not so
Hooked on it.
Bible-y or Jesus-y or whatever that's all I want to talk about. It's like, no, I like I said, I've just never been that dude. Like I said, I can be in any conversation. You want to talk about theology, you want to talk about politics, you want to talk about religion or sports or whatever it is. I'm good for an hour or two, and then after that, it's like, okay, what are we doing next? Or hey, let's talk about something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been in some rooms, I've been in some conversations where it's like, look, guys, I got to go, and they still talking. it's just not So it's like, so yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I think certainly as I got older, why I didn't have a ton of friends like that. You know what I mean? Like, or I treat friendships differently in that it's a small club of people I would truly say are my friends, but even them, I don't hang out with them all the time. If you ask Eric how many times we hang out a year, it's not a lot, or how many times we're even on the phone. But he's a brother.
Yeah, even us, like we talk all the time. We never on the phone, really.
Right. Or I'm just saying, but there's guys who I may talk to a couple times a year, and we're close because as soon as we go on the phone, we're on the phone for a while and we don't get off. But it's not like I gotta have it every week. You know what I'm saying? Like the only person I really want to hang out with like that on a regular basis is my wife. What's that?
It's not like a drug you need it. Like, come on.
Nah.
You know
the only thing I need is my wife. And there's physical reasons why I need that. I'll be honest about that. But I'm just saying, but that's the one I'm close to. It's like I want to be whether if I was on an island, give me my dog and give me my wife. And I think I'd be okay. My kids, I pray for them, but they're supposed to go off and marry and be, create their own families and create their own legacies and whatnot. Seeing my kids a couple times a year, I'm cool with that. People were asking us like, oh, well, my daughter went to medical school. It's like, oh, are you gonna miss her? I'm like, no. In fact, when she was home, I was like, you need to go back, because here it's like, I think we talked about it on the Gray Area Sunday. It's like when she's home, it's like I don't have to do anything. It's like this is like her place of rest. But when she's on campus, it's like she got to clean up. She's got to be, there's certain things she's got to do. It's like, why don't you do that at home?
And you mentioned multiple times your house is getting small too with everybody in there now.
Yeah. And I'm raised that they need to stretch, they need to expand, they need to really grow up and take care of their finances and learn what it really means to run a household.
Do you know, I would love to have interaction with other people. I really would. I don't have any.
What are we, chopped liver?
Pardon?
What are we, chopped liver?
I think you mean physical.
Literally, the only interaction I get is either my current wife or speak to you guys on here. Right. Literally, I have no interaction with another human apart from the wife.
Why is that, Greg? You always say that, but you never really get into details. Why?
Why? Because I don't want nothing to do with the people in my building around my area. Because it's so depressing and they're so two-faced around here. And they will literally, everyone around here will backstab you every turn you go. Yeah? I would love to see my friends. That's why I've been trying to get myself to move away from here, back to Brighton, instead of living where I am. You know where I am, Pete. You've got my address anyway.
I do.
I would love to see my family. Yeah, I'll send you my address.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I would love to see my family. I would love to see my dad. I would love to see my friends. But I'm literally, as far as I'm concerned, I'm out in the sticks. I'm literally probably 20, 30 miles away from my dad. And even then, my dad is not even home half the time because he's away 6 days of the week driving.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, he's a trucker? He's a transporter? Yeah.
Is that why you want to be a trucker too?
Dude, I've been wanting to be a trucker since I was a kid.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
So how often do you see your friends and family from that?
I don't. I saw my dad about a year ago.
Right.
I speak to my dad on Facebook. That's the good thing about social media. I talk to people. I
Exactly.
use WhatsApp. That's a form of social media.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I use that to talk to people.
Right.
But I don't have interactions with people. They don't. Sometimes I get my landlord come knocking on my door, saying how I'm doing and that, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have any interaction with anyone in this blog that I speak to.
Right. But I'm just saying, but is your wife, is she well enough to, like, if you just wanted to go like for like a weekend or like an extended
Can't afford
Friday
it.
through Sunday?
Can't afford it.
Got it. Yeah.
With the state, the way the UK is right now, we can't afford to.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense for sure. Because and certainly again having again financial mobility. I mean, one of the reasons why I guess I'm always harping on guys, really get into your bag as much as you can, or develop that sense of independence. So again, because that sometimes that does take resources, no question, in order to get to, and you take things for granted. I mean, gosh, I sent a phone to Grenada. It cost me $200 shipping. I mean, it's like
Wait, you
phone,
guys, do you need her to bring her phone with her?
No, I got it after she left. That's the problem. It's like the timing. I got an opportunity. The timing got there. I got the phone for free, essentially. But she was already gone. And it's like, but I need her to. So I'm shipping the phone down. She's got to transfer it over and send me the old phone back. I'm thinking for the cost of doing that, I could almost afford a trip to the island and do it myself and take it back pretty much. So that's the one thing. So when she's here, because she only gets very short breaks. She's only here 2 or 3 weeks doing her breaks, and then she goes back. It's not like a summer. It's not like college where you get the summer off or something like that. So it's
overseas, their school system is completely different than what we're used to.
Well, not only that, yeah, but also, I mean, shipping overseas, you got duties and tariffs. So that's the thing. The shipping cost that I paid, and then she's still going to have to probably pay some duty. Well, I'll pay them, but when she picks up the package, they're probably going to be some VAT or some duties or something like that. She may have to pay on the package when she gets it. But hopefully this will be the last phone she'll need for a while. But nevertheless, though, but to do certain things, yeah, I mean, certainly having some finances, it definitely gives you certain mobility. But again, even then, it's how you use it. So like I said, you said about social media. Is it good or bad? Again, money, same thing. What are you spending your money on? And are you putting your monies, the monies that you have, regardless of how much it is, a lot or a little, it can feel like you don't have money at all if you don't prioritize.
Yeah. Before we move on with the conversation, I want to play one video. I have a bunch, but this one I really want to play.
What's social media doing to our brain?
There's a book I love called Thrilled to Death. It's continually pressing on your nucleus accumbens that produces dopamine, continually pressing on the pleasure centers in your brain. But the problem with that is the more you press on them, they begin to become numb. And you need more and more excitement, more and more stimulation in order to feel anything at all.
What's social media doing to our brain?
There's a book I
Yeah, but
it's like giving up smoking.
Yeah, but he's not saying anything profound.
Media, you need it. You need that little kick from social media.
But I don't think he's saying anything profound. I mean, anything that creates dopamine is going to have the same response, whether it be sugar, smoking, sex. I mean, pick your poison, since it's part of your show tonight. Is going to can cause that same response. But again, how do you counteract it though? Is the question. If that's all you're doing, if you're constantly feeding yourself that kind of thing, and you're on it longer and longer, because again, it takes more to get that high, that stimulus from doing it, then yeah, that's a problem. But again, I think you need a hobby, or you need to do something productive, with your time. I know there's a lot of Gen Xers are probably more hooked on social media now because again, they're not as involved. That's why I was so proud of Coach when Coach decided to get back into coaching because I mean, it's
I don't think he's
definitely-
going back for a third time.
He might. I think I don't know if he'll go for 5th and 6th grade girls again, but certainly maybe high school, or some other aspect of it. He may want to go back to because he realized, and the thing that he told me in our last show, he talked about how those girls, as much as he lost his voice screaming out those girls, you know what those girls did at the photo shoot? They all came up and hugged him because they appreciated. They appreciated, again, with all the cats. You don't know the influence and impact you have. You don't think you're doing anything. But again, for those girls to see a strong black man, a strong father figure, a strong influence like that, who cares about them, even though they're frustrating to deal with sometimes, and it doesn't feel like you're making an impact, and then for them to come and do that, you realize that, you are. So I would say certainly for a lot of older people, if you're 40, 50, 60 years old, find things to do that is positive personally as well as for other people. Maybe it could be some sort of charity of some kind, or get involved in a church organization of some kind, or something, mentoring, tutoring. Get the emphasis off yourself and on other people. Where can I be of use? Can I be useful? I think Benjamin Franklin said that it is better to be useful than remembered. And so, so that's something that you have to, for guys who are a little bit old, you don't want to just cruise into retirement or wait for that rocking chair. A lot of guys are you can still be in your 50s and whatnot. And I know guys now, it's like, I kind of tell them, man, you be doing so much more. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge or wisdom to be of use. You might have done youth sports back in the day, coaching or whatever. Well, why can't you do it now? So to me, that would be my solution, if you will. If let's assume that's happening, and I have no doubt to think that it's not happening. But what else are you filling in? Are you living on that? But just like anything else, I talk about my 80% diet, right? I say 80% of the time, eat clean, 20% anything you want.
But you don't go overboard either.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to. Like I said, when we went out Friday night, and when I go out now to dinner, I can barely finish my plate. I'm always we go to Cheesecake Factory or something. I'm rarely ever done. So I bring stuff home. Like, I don't need gobs and gobs of it. But it is useful. And it's a break, and it tastes good. So again, I'm not opposed to sugar. Like I said, I'm not opposed to social media. If you get a dopamine from it, funny stories, or you contribute something, or people saying, hey, great job, or people giving you likes, what's wrong with that? But when you live for it, though, when you have nothing else going on, well, like I said, when your posts seem like, you're just trying to, and I've seen people, I mean, especially some of the women, the lady content creators, it's like, I get it. You have a nice butt. I get it. Do I need to see your butt in all kinds of positions? Okay, I got to bend over and pick something up. Or you're running and the cameraman's behind you filming your butt. I get it. You have a nice butt. Is that it? But those are the ones who get 200, 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers.
That's the sad part. People who put work in their own, if a woman has a really good body, she would be blown up before you know it.
Yeah. But
And
but it's just it's sometimes it's some of these folks I've seen, it's almost like, they try to make their content about something and really as if they're doing something, and it's really not. Like, you had this one couple that I saw, and the wife, she has a pretty big butt. I mean, especially brothers would go crazy over to watching their butt. But they do all these kind of skits that aren't even focused on that, but it's there. It's there, so you can't help but notice it. But there's like, oh, we're a couples channel. We do these skits about us and stuff, and we have fun and all that kind of stuff. No, half of your subscribers, especially if they're men, 70-80% of your subscribers is they're looking at your wife's butt. You feel good about that?
I wouldn't.
Maybe he does. I don't know. But I'm like, don't say, hey, we're just this couple and we're just having fun or whatnot or whatever. No, it's like, like,
Bro, is a YouTube
honest,
YouTube couple around my area.
Yeah.
I don't want to say names because I don't want to promote their channel, but they do funny skits about about Latinos. Okay, that's pretty funny. But towards the end of every skit, says, hey, if you want to follow us more, we also do OF OnlyFans, and that's how they pay their bills.
Yeah.
But personally, I don't want somebody watching me when I'm blowing my wife's back out.
Yeah.
Think about it. Would you?
No. And again, and then certain things that, again, my wife is like, we're out, like, yeah, I know my wife is fine. And you can look all you want to or whatever. Would I ever show a pic of, I may show like a nice pic of us together or something like that, but I'm not looking for my wife to say, okay, can you do one of those bend over shots or something? I mean, like, that's mine. I don't need to share that with the world. And she wouldn't take that kind of picture either. So that's just not something that we do or desire to do. But I know she's working with. I see it in the flesh every morning. So it is what it is. But I really think that again, it's not what the social media is doing. It's what you are doing outside of social media that I think is really the difference.
think if you have a mixed balance, use it responsibly. Like we do, for example, on this network, right? We use this. Everybody has their own show, but we are not on this 24/7. We're not streaming all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not on. On my end, because I am the founder. I do have to do a little more work on my end, like post shows and all that stuff. But I don't let my life revolve around this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you have your life revolve on it, you cannot put it down. I know people stay up for hours and they're supposed to be sleeping, getting ready for work for the next day. All they do, scroll, and they can't get up for work because they're getting fired from job to job because they can't go to sleep.
That's right.
Like obesity, for example. When you can't stop eating, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So let's get our final thoughts.
Sometimes, I mean, obesity is tricky because there's a genetic component to that. There's also a hormonal component to that. But I may talk about that in another show about some of the trickiness of the obesity. But it's not everybody's obese is that because they're eating all the time. I know a lot of obese people who don't eat hardly anything, but their metabolisms are such where it's like the bodies won't allow the release of the fat stores one. But that's a totally different. That's a totally different show. But
after pregnancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women their birth hits stay wider than what they.
Well, at least after a while, like my wife, she rebounded pretty good after the first two. The third one, that's like the weight kind of stayed, But the first one is like you wouldn't have known that she was. So again, especially if you're having multiple, we had 3 and 4 years, so it's like you didn't necessarily give your body a chance to kind of fully come back from that. But then again, I know women who skinny as a rail got 6-7 kids, no weight.
Bro, I'm gonna say names, but I know 2 people. One, she had 1 kid, and you looked at her like, "You're pregnant?" Like, yeah. Couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
I know when I met the other day, she's one of my customers. She goes,
"It's just
yeah,
the
I'm
belly."
pregnant.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's just the belly. That's it. Nothing else.
You couldn't even tell. But let's get our final thoughts. Paul, you want to go first? Greg, you go last.
Social media. I'm sorry. What was the topic? Is it poison or what's the topic?
Connection. Content poison.
Oh, connect. Yes. I started with. Yes, it is about connection. You can form some great connections. You can form some lifelong connections and reconnections through social media. It is a wonderful tool, just like a hammer. You can use a hammer for good, for building things, building homes and art and all kinds of things, or you can whack somebody with it. What's the difference? It's you. It's your intent. And so again, nothing should be your God except, if you believe in God, you don't put anything before God. So again, if that social media, will you spend your time? Will you spend your talent? Will you spend your treasure? If that gets excessive, then yeah, you might want to think about that. And so those who spend all their time on social media could be there. But again, a generation ago was television. So, so again, we got to, how many folks watch TV all day or played video games all day or, whatever, or even if you read all day, because I know some pretty people who love to read, avid readers. They go on vacation and all they want to do is read a book. I'm not opposed to reading books, but I'm just saying, but is there more that you could be doing certainly in the world and enjoying more of the world if you would simply expose yourself to it? So again, never make anything an idol. Social media, yes, it has elements to it that are dangerous. And my biggest, I'll say this, where the poison is in social media, and I should have brought this up earlier, is with information. In a lot of ways, I think that is poison. I think the fact that we're moving away from traditional journalism to social media for information, not entertainment, but for information, is poison. Because nobody knows what the truth is anymore. No one knows the fact. Not to say that traditional print media or television programs or whatever get it right all the time. They don't. But this era now where everybody posts stuff about events, about things that are happening that are not true, that have to be fact checked. And I probably get a couple of those a week. Someone says someone died. And I'm like, what? And then I look it up. It's like, that person didn't die. Where'd you get that from? And people in there liking it and saying the sad emojis and stuff like that. That is poison. To be misinformed. And a misinformed mind is dangerous. That's how radicalization happens. That's how hate groups and all kinds of other groups start to happen. And so again, once the facts start getting blurred in social media, yes, that is poison. And the fact that a lot of these social media entities are not policing the content properly, that things that are being posted is not fact-based, that would be the one thing about social media that I would want to change. But we have to give information. Too many people have died because of this misinformation, or got caught up in some things that they never should have because of this misinformation. And we're all worse for it. But if social media becomes, and from what I understand, for Gen Zers and now the Gen Alphas, that the majority of those folks get their news from social media. That's dangerous. And if that doesn't get rectified, if we lose what it means to be a journalist, what it means to be a news person, not just a influencer. People have died from taking things, promoting supplements that are not effective at best and dangerous at worst. So I think that is certainly something that needs to be better. But as far as for, the connections, yeah, I think it's a positive thing. But and maybe that might need to be another show, Pete, or maybe even a gray area show. Just the misinformation. I think that's just or people who, it's almost like they're experts in something and they don't know anything. So you got internet, social media scientists, you have social media news people, social media doctors that just are just putting stuff out there. and people being gullible the way they are, or they want to be a part of something, if they're following it and they're making decisions, sometimes dangerous decisions, because of that information. I think that has to, that has to change at some point. And like I said, maybe we might want to explore that in a different show. But everyone thinks that just because you watch some YouTube videos, that's a replacement for years of discipline and training and study and peer review and review before boards before you can go out there and speak. I think we definitely need to get back to that. So I think that's all I got.
Hello. Social media, good, bad? My experience is bad. But I would have met these two guys if they hadn't been social media. So sometimes it's good. I'm done. Sorry, I can't think of anything. Sorry, Pete.
Well, you did better than last time. I'll give you that much. But yeah, I agree with Paul. You can use it as a benefit, like we have. We have created a network. We have created a family at this point. I think we're all have each other's back. Doesn't matter good, bad, or evil. In my case, the guys were there for me when Alex passed. Definitely Paul. Like so, and Greg too. So you could, if you use it in a positive way, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. But when you're abusing it and it's sitting there for hours and hours and hours and hours and end, scrolling away, yeah, that's a problem. Listen, I'll be honest with you guys. Like when I'm on my lunch break, yeah, I scroll through it and see what's going on, but I don't. That's it. The other part of it is when I get home and I have to do some work for the channel, I might spend an hour doing some work. That's it. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Because I break my times up. I don't do it all in one shot. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Like give or take, like anything. Like Paul said, and like it's you see this influencer online saying, "Oh, take this and this and this." It's not healthy.
Yeah, and they're not even taking it half the time. You know what I mean? That's the thing too. But it's like that used to be like in the bodybuilding magazines, right? The guy in the Muscle Mag or Muscle and Fitness, and he's a sponsored athlete for the product, but it's like he didn't build his body through taking that stuff, but they pay him a 6-figure endorsement deal or whatever, and he's like all about the brand, but he doesn't even take the stuff.
I remember that. What was it? Cygnus 6, I believe the protein was called. I remember the company.
Well, I think it was through it was sold through Walmart actually.
Was this what one more one time?
I think it was Star 6, but yeah.
No, it wasn't Star 6. It was Cygnus 6. Something else. Are you thinking of? But that specific company was sued specifically because they were saying on their packets what was it? I'm trying to remember. The amount of protein was like 35 grams or 32 grams or whatever.
It was tested. Right.
So that was one of the biggest problem.
Right.
So that's a good example. Like I see these guys like
protein spiking. That was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah, it was like not that long ago. Actually, like a few years ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, certainly like in the 2010s, for sure. I mean, like 2014, 2015, protein spiking was a big thing. I know Consumer Reports, I used to subscribe to them and get reviews on things and whatnot, and also lead contamination. Like a lot of the supplements, they had lead in it. So yeah, there was a lot of products that were like, you shouldn't be taking
the company is called BSN.
BSN, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, they were the one. Synther 6.
Synther 6, yeah, it's protein, right?
And that was used to be one of the top online proteins, if you remember.
Yeah, and I've had it. I mean, it was. I used to get the strawberry. It tasted good, but I didn't use it all the time. But then I was hunting for protein. So if I saw a sale, I went to like a vitamin shop or something. Oh, it's on sale, $10 off, whatever. Boom, I would just get it. I mean, I didn't. When I was younger, I didn't care so much about the source until I got when they talk about the protein spiking and the lead. Then I got a little bit more selective in terms of the type of proteins I would brands that I.
One thing I think we should do a show on with you is, and I'm gonna we can talk about it off the air too. Is the supplement lines are not regulated as much. It makes me wonder why. And because you have the coaching experience and everything in the background,
Mhm.
maybe it's a show we can talk about later on in the future.
Okay. Noted.
But except that, let's do a quick schedule update. Let me get my schedule here going. So tomorrow night, Sean is doing men and women speaking the same word but not the same language. Tune in tomorrow at 9:30 and see what Sean has to say. And on Thursday, Coach and Paul are back at it with Coach Part 2. So let's see what else they have to say. Friday, we're still gonna be off. We'll be back in not this Friday coming up, the next Friday. So in a week from now, we'll be back on the air with new show called Wrestling Talk with the Spartan. Me and Wally and Greg and anybody else from the team wants to join is more welcome to join. We'll be talking about present, past, and future stuff we're looking at. So we're talking a little bit of everything. So there's no specific topic we're gonna be sticking. We're gonna be a little bit of everything.
Right.
And on Sunday, we're going to be talking, Saturday, we will be talking about why do video games suck these days? So that's an interesting one for me. And gray area, I don't have that list on me. Do you have it?
But call in show. So, certainly that's your opportunity to come join, being part of the conversation. I don't know what we're going to be talking about in the free form, but it's going to be free flowing. Anything that we talked about in the past shows that you might want to follow up with us on that you didn't get a chance to express, well, that would be your opportunity as well. So again, call and show the next Gray Area show on the, I believe that's the 18th.
No.
Yeah, it's the 18th.
Is it 18th? Okay.
Yeah.
So except that, guys, I am the Spartan. He is Mr. President. He is the UK. As always, stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.